Good morning, it's Wednesday morning. I'm in my office. So, just an update on things. Uh, Great news, I suppose. I've completed now a new programme that will go up shortly onto the Mindstore online courses platform. You can look forward to that. It's all about gratitude, but of course, if you stay here on YouTube and type in gratitude, you'll get lots and lots of programs and even meditations for free. But this program I've created here is to add to that type of approach you may already be using. Just being thankful for all sorts of stuff, doing that every morning, last thing at night. I get that. But Mindful has a unique opportunity to use deep intuition to really uncover much more of a depth to our gratitude, and therefore building it into your practice you have already as part of a new process. I think you'll really enjoy that. So that's available shortly. The other thing is I've actually got an appointment for another interview of yet another extraordinary lady. And some of you don't like me going on about it. It's not about low carb diets or a lifestyle. It's just a woman with an amazing story of a journey. She's from Glasgow. She stepped out of the house and went for a walk. It's quite amazing. So you can look forward to that. I'll be recording that next week and hopefully get it up fairly quickly. Excited about that. Of course, you must have by now watched my interview with Eileen. Surely you've watched that. And ultimately, I suppose you've also watched the series of interviews I did with Kathleen. I mean, you can watch Netflix tonight and find a series and kind of binge on it, but what about binging on the Kathleen interviews? They're just extraordinary. And how do you find these? Well, you come out of your browser just now and go back into YouTube, because this allows you to do things that just taking a link from Facebook won't. Find on YouTube Jack Black Mindstore channel, go to the playlists, go to the Mindshares playlist, and number 4 there is an extraordinary interview with Eileen. And in a week's time, all going well, there'll be another amazing interview with yet another extraordinary woman. And of course, for goodness sake, why won't you just like and subscribe? That helps me. It helps you get notification if you just use YouTube anyway, of various interviews and things that I'll be posting. So that's that. I'm quite, as you can imagine, excited about that. Another thing I'm excited about is that, as I think I've said before, the island course on Iona sold out immediately. There's now a waiting list. So that's really exciting. That's nudged me to think about maybe if I can fit another one in over next summer. I'll certainly do that. Not in Iona, but I think maybe somewhere a bit more easy to access. I've been thinking about the Isle of Cumbria, with, of course, the town of Millport on there. Lots of us Glaswegians and Scottish people have amazing personal memories, but also, and I didn't know this, but it has a deeply spiritual history. So going there, if I can find an appropriate venue and so on, and we can make that work, then that's something we can also look forward to. So that's particularly exciting. So just a little thing inevitably for me, there was a lot of excitement amongst lots of us about the little trailer I posted about the up and coming documentary film that will be all about the particular lifestyle I favour. One would imagine that news channels and newspapers and stuff would be aware of that coming in, and then almost immediately I noticed The Guardian put out an article about carnivore, and it looked like a real positive article in terms of the heading, but once I get in there, of course, what you find is lazy journalism, probably used an AI tool to gather some information, and so you find at random from out the world different so-called experts that are using the same old paradigm just to dismiss it. Funnily enough, no interviews or no comments from any of the equally amazing experts that are now in line with this, the way of thinking, typical of The Guardian. There was a throwaway comment, completely out of context, about some stuff that, of course, it would just allow those who are sceptical to reinforce their scepticism or their cynicism, to be frank. But there you go. I only promote this stuff, and remember, what I promote you can do as a vegan, It's because of, as most of the people who follow me are of an age and looking forward to a healthy lifespan and using our mind store tools and techniques to continue to really enhance the quality of our lives, then just being aware of all the various inputs, not just your thoughts, but what you eat, what you drink, and how that massively impacts the quality of your life. And the way that I live my life, this approach that I have, 10 years in now, I just know it works. And in 10 years on, more and more and more doctors, professors, research coming into line. So anyway, just again, I only say this because if you take your understanding of things from the mainstream, then my goodness, surely you don't. Surely you're a wee bit more aware of what's going on, understanding what's going on generally, and can find behind the wall of the mainstream nonsense that credible people are questioning things, are begging to differ. And I'm always going to beg to differ. I always have. Mindstore was never mainstream. And even today, big left brainers can't get their head out of their left brain understanding of the world will actually work against Mindstore in their organisations. I've faced that from day one. I still face that. It's quite extraordinary. Even after all these years of mindfulness and meditation being kind of like accepted, the idea that you can somehow or other control your life by changing the level of frequency that you use your brain at, even though there's science to support it now, the left brainers somehow or other really frightened, I suppose, that the right brainers begin to create in their minds extraordinary worlds of peace, tranquility, of growth, dynamic expansion of our awareness, and all the wonderful things that happens when you use your right brain. Certainly we would have, one would imagine, a more exciting potential of a life ahead of us, and optimism in the world, unlike the headlines of today. Anyway, there you go. So lots happening, but here's a Mindstore thing. Who deserves you? And what deserves you to turn up today being the best version of yourself? And you know you've got the tools and techniques for that. You can program that meeting, program that, even that social event, program that challenging maybe phone call you've got to make, and maybe turn up early and use the loo and stuff, and just reprogram again and go in and be the best version of yourself, to really, really be of service to other human beings you'll be in the company of. And of course, maybe there's something you need to do, a task that needs your full attention. Then again, you can program that. I had a wonderful phone call at the start of the week from a woman who's got an amazing vision for the health of Scotland, and we were talking about doing something together. It's really exciting, and she pointed out, she did the course nearly 30 years ago. She just used it all her life, and she kept saying to me, Jack, it just only works. And of course it does only work, but you've got to make it work. So anyway, we update, wee bit of encouragement. I'll see you soon. Bye now. Bye-bye.